Thank you for joining us today. I call the September 21st meeting of the Human Rights Commission to order. Let's begin with an introduction of commission members, starting with Xavier.
Hi, my name is Xavier Balti. I'm also a realtor with Remax Legacy Realty here in Fargo.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Aboa. I am the Community Engagement Director over at the Salvation Army.
Cheryl Schafel, Commission Member.
Nancy Boyle, Commission Member.
Cody Severson, Commission Chair.
Carolyn B. Kraft, Commission Member.
Kristen Nelson. Oops.
There you go.
Kristen Nelson, Commission Member.
Thank you. The next item is to approve the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So move. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is to approve the minutes of the June 15th and August 17th meetings. And those were emailed out to everybody, I think a few days or a week or so ago by Ahmed. Can I get a motion to approve both meeting minutes, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those who'd like to abstain?
Aye.
Okay. And opposed, same sign, please. All right, thank you. That motion carries. All right, so next up is number 4, exiting member recognition. We are going to thank Sarah Boonstoppel and Barry Nelson for being on the commission. And I'll come down there for that. So as the Human Rights Commission, we are presenting you with a plaque for your dedicated service as a member of the commission. We thank you very much for that. Sarah? Oh, you're on. And then, yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. And Barry. There you go. Thank you for your service. You bet. Perfect. And we also thank the 2 earlier. And then Matu earlier was not able to be here today for his plaque, so we'll set that up at a later date. Okay, and so we will move on to number 5 then, welcoming new members and little introduction. So we have 3 of our 4 new members here today, and I'll just we can have them each say a little bit about their background and why they're here. So we have, do we want to start with Xavier?
Yeah, hey, I'm Xavier Balti. I'm a realtor with Remax Legacy Realty as well. I decided to join the Human Rights Commission just because I think I can help make a difference here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We can go on to Rochelle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel. I've been in the Fargo area for roughly 9, going on 10 years. I love my community. I'm very passionate about it. Everybody knows me from various advocacy work in the community. And the reason I wanted to be on the board is to share that compassion and be frontline and not just complain, but also work towards a better community for every single person. So that is my goal.
Perfect. Thank you, Rich.
Yeah.
All right, Kristen?
Hi, I'm Kristen Nelson. I am the founder of an organization called Project Ray. We work with queer youth ages 3 to 14. I joined the commission because I wanted to ensure visibility not only for queer youth, but for queer families across the Fargo area.
Thank you. All right, and we're very excited to have the new members on the commission right now. All right, we will go right into our sixth agenda item here, an update from Fargo Police Department on hate group activities, and then primarily talking a little bit about the Patriot Front and how we are dealing with the situation.
All right, hello everybody. Give me 1 second to get my brief PowerPoint up here. Okay. So my name is Captain Bill Offelt. It's been a while since I've been with you. Last year I've attended these meetings quite a bit in my role as Specialized Services Lieutenant with the Police Department. Since moved on to a different division, but was asked to come to this group and talk a little bit about Patriot Front, and just give a brief overview of who they are and how and if they're affecting our city. And so, and just a brief look into this nationalist group, and I found this looking at Department of Justice websites and online, but they're a white nationalist group, and really what it appears is going on with them is their main goal is to spread their ideologies, what they believe in, through propaganda. Mainly what we're seeing, especially in the Fargo-Moorhead area, is with vandalism, or what we call criminal mischief. I'm sure many of you have heard or seen about, or seen some of these graffiti vandalisms that have gone up throughout the city. In preparing this a little bit, I was speaking to one of our local FBI agents, actually the lead agent for the office, and I said, "What do you know about the group, or what can you tell me?" And I said, "Is this a terrorist group, or what are they?" And she said, "They're not categorized as a terrorist group through the FBI, and they don't believe or think that there's any terrorist activities or have anything to lead them to believe that there's anything like that going on with them at this time. So therefore, they're not really willing to comment anymore on that group." And so thought that was a good piece of information to put in here. How have they affected our city? And as I said, this is going to be a short presentation. This is my last slide, but and having our intelligence analysts look at the different reports of vandalism. This is just for 2023. So beginning of the year to the 18th, which had been Monday, we've had 9 reports of what we believe would be a Patriot Front vandalisms in our city. Many of these acts of vandalisms are in high visibility areas, either on the sides of buildings or in some cases underpasses or walking underpasses that go under some of our city streets or our interstates. And the pictures that I've included here are usually what they are. It's either a sticker or it's a spray painting of their website, and just some statements in which they believe nothing that would be no direct like racial slur or anything like that in those statements, but I believe what is probably their core values, or what they want people to believe that they're standing for. And so when you look at numbers for the 622 vandalisms we've had in the city of Fargo this year, it makes about 1.5% of what we've had. Now, can't comment a lot on the reports. There's some current investigation still going on. But what I can say is no charges have been brought forward on any of those investigations yet. So that's really all I have on Patriot Front and how they've affected our city, at least in 2023. We did see some activity from what I recall last year also with the group. And so that's what we have. I'm open to any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
Have you been able to figure out who's leading this, or?
Well, again, unfortunately, for this presentation, anyway, we're still looking into some of these, and I can't give that type of information without compromising some of the things we're doing. So.
Okay.
One thing I can say is this. We know that a lot of these have gone unreported. A lot of times businesses or wherever they might be put, we'll just say we're going to take it off of our wall or take it off the side of our building and not call the police department. When someone spray paints the side of your building or something you own, that's called criminal mischief. It's a misdemeanor offense. And the police department can come out and take a report and start looking into that crime and try to figure out who did it. And so the more reports we get of this, the more chances we have to try to identify individuals that might be doing it. So if this does happen to the side of your building, just like any graffiti, it might not be, it's not just Patriot Front, but if anybody puts graffiti on something you own or on your personal property, call our non-emergency number, and we will arrive and take a report and investigate that. And if there are charges to be brought, we will make sure those charges are sent forward.
Have you seen an uptick in any sort of violent activity, like alongside the criminal mischief, or no?
We have found nothing indicating that, no. It appears to be, what I said in the beginning slide was most of their activities, they're spreading their ideologies or who they are through the acts of vandalism, and that's what we're seeing here for the most part.
And is there any report or information on maybe they have affiliation or collaboration with other larger hate groups?
Nothing that I know at this time. Of course, we're still looking into these incidents, and through that, we're finding out things about the group. But I wouldn't be able to speak on that at this time.
Are you able to comment on the 9 incidences that took place? What populations are being impacted, or specific businesses?
The majority of these are happening on public property, like walking paths that go under roads. There have been some businesses targeted with this. I believe one of them was the International Market. I believe they did have, this vandalism on the side of their building. I know one that was unreported was a very visible one on our bank right above Block 9 downtown, which was not reported and removed fairly quickly, which I can understand. But I believe the International Market is the only one that I would think of where it was on a private business that would affect a cultural population in our city.
And one thing I would like to know is, are they just a localized group or do they have some national identity?
This is a national group. And from what I could see in my brief research, they're across our country and doing similar things.
The city of Fargo has been known to say that they're or at least we work on saying that we're a very welcoming community. Would it make sense to do like a public service announcement talking about these things, alerting people to that they are happening, and if it does happen, it's important for it to be reported? Because wouldn't it help us to know exactly what is happening instead of people just covering it over and not reporting it?
Well, we definitely could do a public service announcement about graffiti or put something on our website about that because, our investigation right now is into graffiti incidents that are being done more than likely by Patriot Front, but in most cases unknown if they're actually doing it. It's an assumption, right? We can't work with assumptions in law enforcement. We have to have fact. And so, we can put out an announcement saying, hey, if somebody spray paints the side of your building with any type of graffiti, you have the right and your recourse is to call the police department and they can make a report. A lot of these also are gone unnoticed for some of these, from what I remember, we found where they'd gone unnoticed for weeks or unreported for weeks and then finally reported. So we could definitely look into doing something like that just on a social media aspect of things. Hey, if your building is spray painted with graffiti of any type, most definitely give us a call and we'll take a report and we'll investigate it to the fullest extent.
I was just thinking it would be in the city's best interest to be, do their best to be aware of everything that's happening. And if people aren't reporting, that doesn't help the city at all.
Right.
Is there any indication that's organized, or is it a one-off, or like a one-off individual? Or is there any comment you can make about that?
I haven't looked into how organized the group is or anything like that. I mainly focused on the city of Fargo and what we have here. So I wouldn't feel good making a comment about that.
And I know we right now talking about a Patriot Front, but are there any other hate groups operating within the Fargo-Moorhead area that you know about or are currently investigating?
Not that I know of or that we're currently investigating, no.
Thank you.
And with those asked as well, I guess, are there ways that you would like us to be more collaborative in nature? And then I guess my second question would be, when those get reported, you said that, so this is the Fargo PD that goes out and does clean it up and take down the stuff, or how does that work?
No, oftentimes, if it's done on private property, then the private property owner will take those down. If there are graffiti instances on city property, then our city will take care of it.
Okay.
So that's how that usually goes. If it's reported, it'll be assigned to the officer. The officer will look at it. If there's anything for it, anything to be followed up on, then it will go to our investigative division, which is the division I'm currently in charge of. And our detective will look at it. We'll follow it to the furthest extent. And if we can find enough, something which we'd call probable cause to bring charges forward, then that report would be sent to our city attorney's office or our state's attorney's office, depending upon the level of offense, and charges would be brought forward. So that's how that process works. Also, in the middle of that process, if it is a city entity, we then contact the city and say, hey, there's graffiti here that probably should be removed on this city building or this light pole or whatever it might be. One of the other things we're doing, we're looking at just kind of a stenciled spray painting, but they also put stickers up. And as you can imagine, that's very easy to do and very hard to investigate, because somebody could walk by somewhere very quick, hit the side of the building or a sign or whatever it is, and you have no idea when it was put up there.
Do we know? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do we know if this is happening in West Fargo and Moorhead? Is it a collaborative communication with their PDs as well?
I believe there have been some instances in both cities, but I need to double check on it. I'm just going off of memory and not something that I researched for this.
Okay.
Sometimes the problems we have in the community is information and awareness. People don't know about certain things. So within the Fargo PD, is there a dedicated office that handles these things, or is there a particular number that somebody can call to report a hate crime, or do they just have to use the regular 911?
Well, what these are being treated as a criminal mischief graffiti incident. For us to go to a hate crime level, we would need more, for that to happen. And so in the Fargo Police Department, what's going to happen with this graffiti incident is a report will be generated by one of our officers. It'll then go to, it'll be investigated if elements of that offense were found. We only have that city hate crime addition to the ordinances for criminal mischief, harassment, and assault. And so this is criminal mischief. So if we could find elements of that, then it would be given that extra, I don't want to say charge, but extra addition to the ordinance, and treated in that way. And so simply having the words Patriot Front on a walk bridge without anything else or knowing anything else or any reason for it is going to be treated as a graffiti incident until we know more.
So if there's any act of vandalism or graffiti, harassment, anything, anywhere, just call the regular 911?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the presentation.
I appreciate the time.
you.
Good to see you all again. Thank you.
Okay, so we wanted to go into number 7 next on the subcommittee restructure updates. And so this we just wanted to present to you just to get thoughts rolling on and then bring that to the next working session. But the 3 subcommittees that we're talking about forming into are the Education Awareness Committee, the Crisis Response Committee, and the Legislative Activities and Updates Committee. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. We can actually divvy up who wants to go into what at the next working session meeting, but wanted to put that out there. Any thoughts on?
Can you go over the education?
Sure. I guess in a nutshell, what we're looking for is really those community outreach events. I know like Cheryl has been talking about going to the library and hosting sessions there, and then this would be the committee that would go out to booth at various events that happen throughout the year and things like that. And then also hopefully structure helping Ahmed and whoever else to structure the social media output that we have as well.
Okay. I just wanted to know the name of the three groups. Education, legislative update, and the third was what?
Crisis
Crisis response.
Crisis Response
Got it.
Committee.
Thank
yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
So what the chairman's trying to say is we already had 3 existing subcommittees,
Yeah.
and we were thinking about adding another one the night before. But if you look at the structure of those subcommittees, they were basically almost similar. So we just decided to merge them and just create 3 subcommittees instead of having multiple subcommittees that are doing basically almost the same thing.
Thank you.
Yep. So we want everybody just go think about where you want to serve, and then maybe in the next working session you can indicate that.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Fantastic. We will go into staff updates then. Any updates from the staff section?
This is unrelated to, I guess, my exact position, but I wanted to add one resource. You guys had a lot of questions there. And I think these, the Southern Poverty Law Center answers a ton of the questions that you were asking about origin, the year they started, where they started, documenting a ton of their nationwide different. So that's not a City of Fargo thing, but instead of going to their websites or like that, I think they just want to be elevated. So if you search through Southern Poverty Law Center, you can learn a lot of the questions that you were asking that are bigger than Fargo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, no further updates over there. So we'll roll into announcements then. So 3 things I want to put out there. The next working session that we'll have for the Human Rights Commission is on October 4th. I think Ahmed sent out a doodle on the actual time that we want to have it on that day. So if folks could get back on that.
Out of town.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm out of town for my full-time job that day.
Okay. That's okay. But yeah, so working session will be the 4th. I just want another tangent on the Patriot Front. I just want to put out there as well. I think we might have a statement on this at the next meeting, but there is a lawsuit that we are in support of that's publicly known now between, right? They're publicly out there between the North Dakota Human Rights Coalition, the FM International Market against the Patriot Front. And then we want to just say that we openly support that and we're looking forward to how that progresses. Also, Barry Nelson's group, the North Dakota Human Rights Coalition, you can reach out to him on questions about Patriot Front as well. Because as was talked about, they are a national organization that probably know more about the localities as well. But we just wanted to publicly state that. And as well, North Dakota Human Rights Coalition has the LGBTQ+ Summit happening next month. I think that's in 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. They have a website. Go out there, be at that. Does anybody else have events that they know about that they want to talk about?
Yeah. Can I? Okay.
Go ahead.
This weekend we will, Project Ray is hosting an event at the Carlson Library on Saturday, September 23rd from 3 to 5. We are supporting the lawsuit brought by Gender Justice and 3 trans youth in North Dakota. They will be, they're suing the state of North Dakota for their healthcare rights. So we will be hosting that event on Saturday from 3 to 5 at Carlson Library. We are really hoping people attend because we do want to make a good showing of support for gender justice so they can, offset some legal costs and things. So we will be there. The youth, his name is Tate. He will be there. And so hopefully everybody can attend.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to go through and share some upcoming dates and that awareness as far as different months that are being recognized coming up in October. So October is going to be National Disability Employment Awareness Month. as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, LGBTQ History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. Feel free to go on national sites, just looking at what's going on across the nation, in our state, in our community as well, and celebrating those. And then some specific days. On October 9th is going to be National Indigenous People Day. On October 11th is National Coming Out Day, and October 19th, World Mental Health Day. There's probably a handful I forgot as well, so feel free moving forward as well, commissioners and others, if you want various dates or awareness months recognized, let us know.
And with that being said, I believe that the local college systems do like awareness days around like coming out day and things like that too. So for youth out there, please be aware of the college systems and what they're doing. Any other? No? Okay, we will go into number 10, public comment. Those who wish to address the Human Rights Commission must use the sign-in sheet, or should please use the sign-in sheet. Speakers must state their name and will be limited to 2 minutes. Comments should not contain profanity or personal attacks. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment?
No.
Okay. Do we have anybody in the audience who wishes to speak? No? Barry? Whichever one's less legwork.
Well, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be sitting here in the audience and watching you all up there. Congratulations to the new members of the Fargo Human Rights Commission. You'll do well, I know. And I was going to add a bit to the discussion about particularly the lawsuit against the Patriot Front. My name is Barry Nelson. I currently serve as the interim executive director of North Dakota Human Rights Coalition, and we are one of the plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the Patriot Front. And it really grew out of, I'm going to just do two things. It grew out of the vandalism that did occur at the international market. And I'll say that the difference between perhaps random vandalism and targeted vandalism is the impact it has on the individuals that are in fact targeted. And it did in fact have a tremendous impact, other than there was certainly the cleanup and the cost. Some really invaluable artwork was destroyed in the process. And the impact, though, was on the shopkeepers and customers of that market. They felt targeted. If you look to see who the Patriot Front is, yes, they're a white nationalist group. And the fact that this was targeting a immigrant-owned business mall was very clear. And so it had financial impact on the shop owners and just the emotional toll that it took on them. I know there were a couple other immigrant-owned businesses that had the Patriot Front graffiti close by or in front of the businesses. So this is what's so important about elevating the conversation on hate crime. I recognize the delicacy of not being able to investigate it as such at this point. It doesn't rise to that level, but one needs to always be aware of the impact it has on the community that is being targeted. So we are as I said, one of the plaintiffs. It was filed by the Lawyers Committee on Civil Rights under law. It's a group of lawyers out of DC. They have local representation as well. And so thank you for your support and raising awareness about this.
Nice.
Thank you, Barry. Anyone else? No? Is there any other business that we'll have? Hearing none, we will adjourn this meeting of the Human Rights Commission. As we are adjourning a bit early, I would implore individuals to chat about the subcommittees and really talk through what you might want to do and what you might want to see. Giving some time back would be good to hash out some of that before the next working session if you're able to. Otherwise, our next meeting is scheduled for October 20th at noon. Have a good one, folks.